Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. Let's talk about The Amazing Race 34, episode 5, and we're going to a new place for the very first time.
For the first time.
Exciting.
But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/nerdtainment.
Yes. And we have new merch.
New merch.
There.
We do.
Check it out. There
Good
is
stuff.
free shipping all weekend long.
Wow.
Head on over there. But
Guys,
let's talk about Amazing Race.
Let's do it. So what are we coming off? Oh, we're coming off the Mega Leg.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah. We're leaving Italy.
Yes.
And Phil's going to tell them that they're headed to the Kingdom of Jordan.
Kingdom of Jordan for the first time.
Then we see them on this like cool steam train kind of vibe, like riding through the desert, getting us set up. And then the horses riding in.
And the camels.
The men. Oh, were they all camels?
It was horses and camels.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, did I
No,
just
no.
totally
It was
pretend?
both. Yeah.
Okay, great. And they've got swords.
Yes.
And it was just so cinematic and gorgeous. I loved this opening.
I was a bit underwhelmed.
Oh my
I watched it and I said, feels like a
David.
very slow moving train.
David.
I get that it's from the Ottoman Empire and it's very old, but feels like it's just kind of creaking along that train. And I kind of felt like I would have loved like hundreds of horses and camels racing through. And I kind of felt like there were like 16 or so.
What?
I don't know. I just was like, they were like framing it. But I remember pre-season, there were some shots in the trailer that looked, I thought, way more like sweeping and cinematic, like you're saying. And then when I saw it in the show itself, I was like, I'm wanting for more.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
You are hard to
I'm
please.
hard to please. Also, they're like on the
Goodness.
train and they're like creaking along at like 3 miles an hour, right? And they're going, oh, it's so gorgeous here. And I'm looking at that landscape and I'm like, this is a barren desert. I really don't know if gorgeous is the word. It's like got a look, but I don't know if gorgeous is what I would describe this as. It looks dead.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry to the people of Jordan who are our fans.
Shafika, who has been with us since the beginning, our beautiful patron, literally lives there. And you just, oh, Shafika, if you leave us,
I'm sorry, Shafika.
I will never blame you.
You are my favorite.
Yes.
But
Oh my God. Okay,
It's
I
just-
was one of the, I mean, yes, it's a desert. It's not like flowering trees and things, but it's a desert. It's gorgeous.
is it?
And yes, it is a gorgeous desert. And
Okay,
then
I don't know.
who cares how fast the train is going? They're not racing yet. There were more than 3 horses.
100%. I would say there were
3
more than
would have
15.
felt like, okay, they
Yeah.
didn't have a budget for this. But I thought they pulled out some money
Okay.
and hired some fun people.
They did. They hired people.
Okay, well, David and I don't have a problem disagreeing, but I am shocked. Then also, I mean, the people on the racers are like, we don't know what to do, so we're
Yeah,
applauding for
yay.
this. And I was like, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
But then when they got down and that man is handing the clues.
You get a clue and you get a clue.
He was adorable. I
He
loved
was.
him. He was like, good luck.
Yeah.
Here's
And
your
good luck.
Good
Yeah.
luck to you. He was adorable. Loved it.
Yes. Then they like get in their cars that
Yes.
are parked right there in the
And they
desert.
do seem to have drivers.
They do. Yeah. They're
Yes.
just riding along
Yeah.
at this point. I suppose driving on the sand is maybe pretty
Oh,
tricky.
they were probably going to
Yeah.
crash and die.
So they're driving through the desert to the clue, but they are leaving in groups, right? So group 1 are the bros and the twins.
Yes.
And they are going to the roadblock.
The brothers have a mantra now they've come up with. CAR. C-A-R.
Oh, right.
Complacency, adversity, resilience.
Hmm.
Okay.
So it's like you don't want to get complacent.
You don't want to.
You got to make your
You
way
gotta face
through
the adversity.
adversity, and you want to be resilient.
Yeah, I was like, I usually like to have all the
same,
positive
yeah.
sayings.
Mhm. Like it's the CAR of Amazing Race, which is courage.
Complete the challenge.
Yeah. A+
Ass
effort.
kickers.
Yeah.
Resilience.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
I was like, wait, why are we putting complacency in it? I feel like you
Yeah.
might have cursed yourself, guys. Brothers. I was confused on that point, but they're into it.
They're into it. We love them.
Yeah.
So they're making their way to the roadblock, which is who wants to test their metal, and it's this sort of like Star Wars themed because Phil explains like you've seen these landscapes everywhere, and I will point out that it's always on some sort of like desolate,
I was about to say, see, they're beautiful enough for a movie, David, and then you're like,
It's never like
the world is ending.
Oh, we're loving our lives in this like desert. It's always like, wow, life is hard here.
Well,
so
desert living would be hard.
It is hard. Okay, so anyway, they get there and they have to do this metal detector thing and just find a sign that says Petra buried in the sand.
Did you hear Emily say, my thigh?
Okay, I missed it. I didn't hear it until later on when she's going down the stairs and she's like, oh, my leg. And you see her kind of limping. I was curious what happened and when.
Right there at the beginning when they're running up for the first time. Something about stepping in the sand, running in the sand. And she's like, oh, no, I think I've pulled something. And I was like, not today.
Not okay.
Emily's thigh.
No. But at least they're sort of in the lead.
Yes.
So the bros are first and they get through pretty quickly because it's one of those challenges where there's like 10 Petra signs out there when the brothers are doing it. But then one at a time, they get taken away.
For a lot of needles in a haystack at first. Not just the one.
That's right.
You got plenty.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot easier for the first couple teams. But group 2 is going to lead at some point here. That's our sweethearts, Will and Abby, Team Miami, Lewis and Michelle, and our cheerleaders, Quentin and Maddie.
That's right. And so they get there and we're getting a little bit of backstory of Lewis and Michelle on the way. And at that moment, I was like, they're going to have a first place
finish.
We
go.
This is their time.
Here, starting to show up a little bit more in the
because they're like, we want to be parents. We're just getting like a little bit of a reason for them to have good news at the end of this leg. They
were like, last night we said we're not middle of the pack team.
Right.
We're moving up, guys. We're going.
Yep.
Visualization.
Manifest. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
What happens when they get there? They just start searching for stuff?
Yeah. Let's just go to group 3, group 3, and then we'll get to everyone at
the newlyweds, Glenda and Lumumba.
Yes.
Lenton and Sharik.
And Team BB.
Team BB and the ballroom dancers all together.
And Claire.
Right? And David and Aubrey. Yes.
They are, the newlyweds, Glenda and Lumumba, are going to tell us that they're trying to enjoy the trip, staying more optimistic. I mean, they've been in the back lately. It's tough.
I know it's tough because they had such a strong start. And we were like, this is great because we love their personalities. And they're like sort of this odd couple that is like actually doing sort of unexpectedly well, even though I think you expected it from them. You wanted them on your draft team.
I love them.
But yeah, so I think like for the most part, these first 2 groups, right? The brothers, the twins, the cheerleaders, et cetera, they all get it relatively quickly. It's this last group that is really starting to struggle, except Derek from Team BB, because he's just racing across the whole thing with his metal detector, like going as fast as he possibly can.
What is this? He just literally runs.
Yeah.
And then when they're in the car, he's like, you know what? There's always a trick to these tasks. He's telling us, you just got to figure out the trick. The hack. And I was like, going fast?
Yeah. Running?
On a race?
Is the hack?
We figured this out?
Well, let me tell you who didn't. Lenton. He did not figure out that you go fast.
And same with David.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, these poor guys in the back of the pack. Okay.
They're taking forever.
And they're like, I don't want to go where the footsteps are. Because that's obviously been covered. And I think that's where they went wrong as well.
And I'll tell
they're like, let me go further out.
As much as Sharik's struggled in the last roadblock with the statue. She's got a lot of notes for Dad from the sidelines of this one. She's like, you just swing it around and you move quickly.
I can't believe it.
And I'm like, wow.
What is he doing? He's doing it all wrong.
From the sidelines. It's so easy to know how to do it.
So easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I caught that as well.
Yes.
I was like,
and
maybe this was a roadblock for you?
Well, maybe you could have done this one. I don't know.
Okay, let's back up. So you said the brothers, like Marcus finds it very quickly.
Yeah.
Molly's able to find it as group 2 is sort of arriving.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Quentin finds it quickly, then Lewis. Abby is also sitting on the sidelines, getting impatient, but no, is Abby in?
I think Abby was in it.
She was in it.
Yeah.
That's right. She was in it. But she was getting impatient, and Will was like, she's an impatient person.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. Because I too am an impatient person. And so I think I was relating.
Even with yourself. You're like impatient with yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. But then she's going to get it as group 3 arrives. So that's the dynamic with this metal detector, a roadblock here.
Yeah.
Derek flying through, gets it so quickly, runs out. Lumumba just finding soda cans.
Yeah,
and beer
what was
cans.
That? He's like on a litter cleanup expedition in the middle of the desert in Jordan.
It was like the PAs who set up these props.
That's messed up.
They just left a bunch of cans in the desert. Come on, guys.
He does get it. David does get it.
Eventually.
We're left with Lenton, the last one here. And he's looking at they're really playing up how long he's looking for this Petra sign. But he does eventually get it.
Sure. He's going to eventually get it. But the last one is going to be super, super hard to get for sure. So they all got a thing. This is Petra.
So they have to go to Petra. Capital city, right, of Jordan, the kingdom of Jordan?
Oh,
or is it like the palace itself?
I think it's just that wonder. It's now one of the wonders of the world, where it's like the old castle-y looking thing built into the sand.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're racing there, and this is where they get the detour. And it's either camel caravan or a slide puzzle, the palace puzzle situation. And this one was pretty unevenly distributed. Most of the teams are going to end up going for the slide puzzle here. Only a couple really see the camel thing through. But those are the choices of the two.
Did you see that Big Brother, Derek and Claire, are all of a sudden in the lead?
No, I didn't notice that. How?
Yeah, exactly. How? Their driver needs a raise. The brothers and the twins are in cars headed to Petra.
Yeah.
Then other people.
Quentin, Abby, and
Lewis.
Will. Yeah.
Abby, these people before Derek and Claire's driver pulls them up so fast.
Love that.
They run to that clue box. They grab this clue first.
Interesting.
To pick this detour.
Okay.
What?
Good for them.
Crazy.
Well, and they're like very happy to be at a slide puzzle. Claire's like at home.
Thank you. Thank you. And I have been waiting for this.
Yeah.
Because we learned this when Claire was an alternate to go on Big Brother. And we learned about her fandom for Survivor and Big Brother and that she knows these puzzles. And the poor girl has not gotten a puzzle.
Yeah.
In all of this time.
She's gotten a motorcycle to assemble.
Yes.
And things of that nature.
And
she has to yodel.
A puzzle. Right.
So she's like, thank God, a slide puzzle. I know.
See her shine.
And I love her confessional or her interview setup where she's like, every day, because you know how they always make them like relate their jobs to whatever the challenge is. And she's like, every day I deal with data and I need to figure out where to put the data. It's not exactly how a slide puzzle works, but you get it.
It's like a puzzle-ish adjacent type thing that I do. But it's like the first time that Derek's like, she does.
My girl.
She did this. This is all her. Yes. Like she finally gets to shine in this moment. Yes.
I loved Emily and Molly just because I'm loving them generally. But when they're, making the decision between camels or a puzzle, Emily's like, the camel sounded like a lot of walking in the sun.
Yes.
And I don't want to do that.
No. We're hot. The sand is hard to walk in. Yeah. And Emily's thigh.
Yeah, she's like, my leg.
Her. Yeah.
My leg. I'm not walking.
Puzzle, please. Yeah. Which, I mean, a slide puzzle ain't always easy.
True.
Team TMZ.
I know.
Out on the first leg.
That's right.
I mean, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
But feeding
sometimes
a camel is not the way I'm going.
Oh, no. Well, the military brothers, start on the camels.
Sure.
And quickly, they're like, this was a bad decision.
This was the wrong choice.
But we're going to see it through because we can, right? But it's like maybe going to prevent us from getting a first place finish because the slide puzzle would probably be much quicker. But at this point, we're here. We're just going to do it and not risk like getting even further behind.
But I gotta say, this is the first time the physical challenge has actually been a physical challenge.
Because they have tiny little pots to transfer this water. You know, it's not
like, this is the water we're doing. This little thing.
Can make it a little bigger.
Going to be a few trips here because we thought, oh, don't do the cheese. That's a physical challenge. Nope, turned out to be easy.
Yeah.
And this one actually, I was like, okay, this is what hard. We're used to. They're going to actually be physically demanding.
Again, it's just the physical demands in the hot sun, right? Like we're getting a lot of sound bites from everybody about like, oh, this heat is brutal.
Yeah.
So that just adds to the challenge for the camel part of the detour. Now, Lewis and Michelle end up finishing the puzzle first before Derek and Claire.
Right. But like seconds before.
Yeah.
It's basically the same. But yes, Lewis and Michelle they're also slide puzzle people.
Oh, yeah.
They're here for it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't get to go live, so I don't know if Lewis would have joined us in the chat.
Oh, he would have.
But on Twitter, he did, because I posted about the slide puzzle, he did respond that because of that TMZ episode, they studied slide puzzles.
Wow.
It pays off.
Pays off, y'all. Gotta prep.
Yep.
Now, those are the first two teams out of the detour period.
Yes.
Right? And then we see the newlyweds now running in to join the detour of it all because they found their metal sign, at the metal detector. And I loved watching Glenda and Lumumba running hand in hand. They are holding hands as they run the amazing race. And they're like, the race has helped our marriage. And I'm like, I love you.
I do. I love them. There was one point, though, that he said, you got to chill. Seriously.
And he did on the way to the car. Yeah.
I was like, yes, y'all, you set yourselves up. We're going to be positive, optimistic. She got a little frustrated. I was like, barely. And he was like, shut it down.
Yeah.
Before it becomes.
Stay calm.
Yeah. Becomes more of a thing.
Yeah.
But I have, before we see newlyweds, I've got Abby and Will, our sweethearts, and our twins are going to get to the puzzle.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have a big tough time.
No.
They solve it fairly quickly.
They do.
Then we see our ballroom couple.
Right.
David and Aubrey show up at the puzzle and our cheerleaders.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, David and Aubrey are not going to finish it as quickly. We do see Quentin and Maddie finish it. But Glenda and Lumumba decide to do the camel thing.
Well, very quickly they abandoned that.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't the right choice, guys.
We did see, yes, you're absolutely right that Will and Abby and the twins got through the puzzle. The bros actually did finish the camels in third place overall. So took them a while, but like they, maintained their sort of overall position in the race more or less.
Yeah.
But the newlyweds pick the camels and they take one look at those tiny little urns to carry the water, and they're like, this is wrong.
Here? Nope.
Let's go to the puzzle.
Luckily, these are right next to each other.
I was going to say, it doesn't seem far apart.
No.
Why wouldn't the brothers have switched then?
Well, they didn't do it they didn't have that realization it seemed as quick.
Okay.
Like, they took a trip, and then they were like,
Lumumba took one look, and he was like, no.
He was like, yep, puzzle it is. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yes. So grateful that they switched immediately.
Yeah.
So we see the cheerleaders finish their puzzle. We see Sharik and Linton
pick the camels.
Sharik says, let's do the puzzle. And Linton says, no, the camels. Now,
listen,
spoiler alert, they're not going to survive this leg. And I already interviewed them and it is posted. And they said, didn't matter which one we did. We had already lost.
They are so far behind.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
got it.
Doesn't matter which one they are at this point.
Okay.
Just finishing so they can be
just finishing.
Yeah.
But like you say, the cheerleaders have finished the puzzle. The ballroom couple, David and Aubrey, are struggling. Lumumba has a full beautiful mind moment.
Yeah.
And just goes like this.
Boom, boom.
Boom.
Here.
Boom, 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 boom. Done.
Done.
Like, what happened there?
Then Puzzle King. Don't know if he even knows it, but he is.
I love that.
Like, here?
It just like,
is this it?
I'm sure that just, there's a moment where your mind just sees everything click into place. And he just so calmly slid these pieces around and was like, I finished.
Yes. Meanwhile, Aubrey is literally going, what is the reference point?
She said, where am I supposed to look?
What am I designing this after?
Yeah.
It's
It's right in front of you.
In front of
well,
you.
they do a check eventually because they feel like we've got 3 rows
Is this it?
of content here. Is this right? But their top row is on the bottom.
Oh, gosh.
And then that's the point where they look up and they're like, oh.
I don't even know what they do. Yeah. But okay, we'll give them that credit. Something clicks and they're like, flip it?
Yeah.
How about we flip it?
Yeah.
So editing wise is trying to show us that they're struggling.
Ballroom. Are they gonna, be overcome by Linton and Sharik?
Linton and Sharik are feeding the camels, which they're in a great mood, just going through the motions.
But they're overheating.
Yes, of course.
They're just like, this is awful. I hate it here.
I would like to have done a task with camels because I would like to just be like,
yeah. Oh, I would love to feed a camel like straw or whatever and see them drink from a pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great.
But I'm not doing the physical challenge.
Yeah. I also did love the moment where they're hauling the bags of hay and Linton's like, how many bags of hay is it? And Sharik goes, 3, trust me.
Trust me.
And he's like, okay, maybe I'll just take one more.
Just in case.
And then Sharik's like, LOL, it was 4.
Oh, it was 4. Okay,
it was 4. Yeah.
Good call. You did 4. Again, it doesn't matter.
Then it does not matter. They finish the challenge, and Sharik's mood is she's like, "Yay, thank you."
Yeah. Okay. Good. Let's hit this pit stop at this beautiful, the Great Temple. It is called again. Beautiful.
It's just sand. It's just sand with some rocks. But okay, it's beautiful.
We literally live in a desert.
Yeah.
And you're like, sand with rocks.
We have some greenery.
We do. We have greenery. Oh my God. Okay.
All right, number 1.
Foot race.
Oh yeah, that was good.
Because as we said, Big Brother and Team Miami are going to finish this puzzle around the same time.
Around the same time. And let me tell you something. While puzzles are Claire's strong suit, running is not.
It's not.
It's not. And
Dan's like, come on. She's like, I am coming.
I'm coming. And he's like, come on. And then she falls down and bloodies her knee.
She falls so hard.
She falls so hard.
She injures herself.
On rocks. She's in a desert.
It's rocks.
It's not grass. There's nothing soft here to land on. So she falls, and then Derek's like, oh my God. And she's like, I'm fine. Let's just go.
She's like embarrassed that she fell.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm fine.
They get to the mat, and Phil's like, Claire, that's a lot of blood. And she's like, move on.
She's like, I'm here. Let's go.
Yeah.
Get this over with. I made it. Okay. But Lewis and Michelle get their first place.
We knew it.
Finally.
We knew it.
They both win $5,000.
Both are combined.
Well, combined.
Yeah. Okay.
They are a couple. They're together.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Very much so. And Derek and Claire back towards the top, which is exciting because they've had a couple of legs where they tumbled down.
Yeah.
And then Claire literally tumbled down.
Yeah.
But she made it back up for second place finish, which is exciting. And then the brothers show up and they are annoyed.
Going in the wrong direction.
Picked the camels.
They're like, remember when we didn't like being second? We really don't
this
like
is worse.
But they know they picked a camel. It took them longer. It's okay. You guys are still up there in the top.
No. They're like, we might as well go home.
4th place, Abby and Will.
Yeah, they're like on their way up.
They really are.
I don't really anticipate them, no offense, but like being serious contenders to win. I think they're like a solid middle of the pack, lovable. We're going to see you live your dream and travel around the world kind of team. But like eventually I think time's going to be up for them. Yeah. But 4th place, good for them.
Yes.
And then we get the twins.
Molly and Emily.
Now.
Top 5.
I loved them. Again, I'm just loving the twins so much because they're at the mat and Phil's like, oh, welcome. And they're like looking around and they're like you. They're like, this place is amazing. Yes. They're just really soaking it all in. Like, none of the stress of like, oh, the race. And they're that team that's like really taking a step back and be like, wow, we are in Jordan and we will never be back here. And we get to do this together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Every moment of this we're doing together.
Yeah.
They are just so loving and supportive of each other and appreciating where they are.
But I don't love this injured leg. I need some ice on that thing. I need a bandage or something.
Prop it up tonight.
Yeah.
Ice it. tomorrow, it better not be bothering you.
I know.
I'm not here for that at all.
Yeah.
6th place.
Quentin and Maddie.
Cheerleaders.
Yeah.
They're right there. They're also
They're right there.
Sort of our middle.
I want better for them.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to get there. I think we could expect a top 3 finish on one of the legs here from them. I just feel like something's not quite clicking yet, you know?
It's navigation with them, which they didn't have to do this leg, but that does seem to be their issue overall. Thank goodness they didn't have to do it this leg.
Yeah.
7th place, Glenda and La Momba. Come on.
And they're like, best is yet to come.
Yes, that's right.
Don't count us out.
That's right. I will not count you out. 8th place is going to be
David and Aubrey, and I'm like breathing a sigh of relief because they're on my draft team, and I'm of course wishing the best for them in that way.
But once again, they're on the mat, and Phil is trying to trick them.
Yeah,
he got them before, but this time they're like,
I don't think they believe it.
Yeah, they're like,
well, they're like,
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Come on. We didn't lose to Linton.
We're not last, are we? No. And he's like, nah, you're not. You're not. You figured it out.
Yeah. So Linton and Sharik arrive last.
Yeah.
And it's just they had a pretty strong start for a
they really did.
parent-child team.
Yeah.
And we were hoping for some sort of like epic run for them, but I would say this is kind of typical placement for a parent-child team.
I know. Well, unfortunately, it's a tough duo, but they are so loving and supportive of each other, and we get these great moments again here on the mat of just how much they enjoy being together, being related, running the race together, all of that. It's really lovely to see, especially after she had such a hard time with the mega leg. Yeah. And she's very open about her anxiety and depression. She's diagnosed both. And what I thought was really interesting in our exit interview that I had with them, she talked about preparing with her therapist to go on this race.
Wow.
The race talked to her therapist. And I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't hear about this story earlier. I feel like we would have handled that episode better
100%.
Had we known what she was really dealing with and understand her story a little bit more. Yeah. And now knowing that the race fully understood her issues that she deals with, and to not make that a part of her story. Yeah. Really doesn't serve them. I feel like she would have gotten less hate online, which is better for everybody. Yeah. And it just would have been a more interesting story too if we could, have a little bit more understanding.
But I was so happy to see this be the end of her story on Amazing Race, because like you just don't want to go out on that kind of a note, right? In the mega leg kind of a situation where it's just like, don't give up, please don't give up. Because here she's like had some time to reflect, and she's clearly saying like, man, this was so amazing. And it's literally the hardest thing I've ever done. Like I was a competitive athlete, cheerleader, whatever, for however many years. And this is by far the hardest thing I've ever done. But it's sort of this moment of, I'm proud of myself for having tried it. Yeah. And gone for it.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly wish it had gone better for her. But I do love how loving that father-daughter duo is.
I know.
I mean, daughter-dad relationships aren't easy. No. And to see how loving and supportive they to see them so loving and supportive of each other is just really nice to see.
It is.
So yes, I agree. I'm glad there was a bit of a high moment for them. Yeah. But no non-elimination. So that's it.
Onwards. And then next time, everything is in Arabic wherever they go. And we get a positive COVID result.
What? Again, I am not prepared for this.
I know.
We're going to lose a team.
You experienced this on Australia. Amazing Race.
Australia, everyone got COVID. But they went into isolation and they returned. Back. Yeah. But Australia does that. They do what they call intruders and a stowaway twist and things like that. Right. I don't think US is down for that kind of stuff. I think you get COVID, you're out. You're out. So I don't know who this team is.
I can't imagine the like attempt to contact trace for the Amazing Race when one team gets a COVID result. they're on edge, probably wondering if the entire production is going to shut down.
Which is why I'll show you every single person got it.
Yeah.
Even the host got it. They all were in isolation for half of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, that didn't leak. That didn't get out in the news. So I don't think that happens. But you're right. One team gets it. What are the odds that another team?
How isolated are they really keeping them? You know, they were all on a train. I mean, granted, it was, open air.
They were all on a chartered jet together.
Yep, there you go.
But some people on Twitter, I mean, you know how people on Twitter are.
People know stuff.
But they said, because you saw they had drivers and a lot of people were masked. But some people were like, not everybody was masked in the cars.
Interesting.
I didn't notice that. I was noticing the masks. So I missed who was unmasked. I don't know if that actually affects anything. I mean, they were somewhat in contact with a bunch of different people. That's kind of how the race is going. Although production has told us that everyone is tested. All of those drivers were tested ahead of time. All of the people on their camels were tested ahead of time. So they're being as safe as possible.
Yeah.
Now, unless this is just a tease and they got a positive COVID
from
test.
Someone who's already been eliminated.
No, I'm saying, like, let's say you got a positive COVID test this morning, so you're not able to come out for the start of the race.
Okay.
But by night, you were negative and it was a false positive.
Maybe it was a false positive.
And they get to come back in the middle of the
false
race.
False positives are far rarer.
I'm just trying to be optimistic,
yeah, I know.
Guys, because I imagine if you get a positive, you're gone. You're eliminated.
Out. Yeah.
I know that they said no non-elimination lives.
But that might replace an elimination.
But that's still being eliminated, right? You get a positive test, you are eliminated. It's not like it's a non-elimination.
Interesting. But it's weird that it's like on a phone. Although I guess they'd be like quarantined to their hotel.
Yes, Philly showing up.
Yeah, no, you're right. Huh. Maybe it's a producer.
They're not going to put that in the show. It's
not
a team.
Even for the drama.
No.
For the tease.
It's a team.
All right, fine.
It's a team. We're going to lose somebody to COVID.
I hate it.
I
don't think we are.
Okay.
Why would they put that in the teaser? They were just going to eliminate someone from COVID. Gives away the whole episode.
Okay. All right. Let's go with that.
We already got by them. With Owen looking at the idol thing on Survivor, and then it wasn't actually him. So they're figuring out a way to trick us.
Yeah.
You guys.
I don't know if Amazing Race tricks us as much.
Okay, we'll see.
But we will see. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. And this is really going to be a bummer if somebody leaves for that reason.
Yeah.
But this is the world we live in. And that is the risk you take to run the race.
That's right.
All right, you guys. So sorry we couldn't be live this week.
I know.
But thank you so much for joining us anyway.
Yeah.
I'm assuming someone joined.
Someone joined. Please. Okay. And if you did, leave a comment so that we know that you joined, and let us know what you thought about Lenton and Sharik reaching the end of their journey on the race. Who do you think tested positive for COVID? And do you think they're eliminated? Do you think they're eliminated? And give us your top 2 favorite teams in the comments. Who's your favorites? Yes. All right. We'll see you next time, guys. Okay. Bye.